Hey everybody, this is Erico, and I'm back again. Hope you guys are doing well. Because there is a lot going on with the environment in South Korea, and it has a lot to do with the countryside. And the countryside is supposed to be like tranquil and peaceful, and people go about the simple life. However, there's a lot of issues with people having houses that are lived in, and people live in these houses maybe for generations and generations, and the people that originally bought these houses from long time ago grow old and then they pass on. And so a lot of the relatives that are supposedly inheriting these houses do not keep the houses up, do not want the houses, and ultimately they abandon them. So the house is like, what am I supposed to do? Nobody's living in me. Nobody wants me. Nobody loves me. It just stands there alone. And what gets me is that a lot of Korean people, they will leave their whole belongings in these houses. There are some houses where it's barren, but you'll go in like houses that's supposed to be abandoned and all the furniture and everything. You like the person just stepped out. Person just went out to the store, but it's like no, this person been gone for like 6, 7 years. And it's like, but the furniture, computer, the pots and pans and everything are still in this house. So places like Gwanggi-do have this rising problem of abandoned houses being in the countryside. And you think it would be like one house and then maybe like it's a neighborhood where there are houses that are being lived in. No, 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 no. It is whole neighborhoods of houses where the elderly just passed away and these houses are just staying there. And so the Korean government and a lot of people in society are like, we need to do something about this because these houses could be used for crime. These houses could be used for any illegal activities. The houses draw dirt and pollution, rats, and all types of other wild animals that are running around in the countryside.
문제 없을 것으로 판단됩니다. 입구에는 철제로 된 문이 설치되어 있지만 수리가 필요해 보이고 시멘트 도로와 잔디로 된 마당이 눈에 보입니다. 건물로 들어가는 길에는 숲풀이 많이 자라고 있는데 관리하는 사람이 없는 빈집이라 관리가 시급한 상황입니다. 앞에는 각종 농기계 및 생활용품이 적재되어 있는 약 1.5평가량의 작은 창고가 있는데 이것은 제시회 건물입니다. 창고를 지나면 건물의 입구가 나오는데 계단과 슬로프가 설치되어 있고 오래된 1층 연화조 건물이 보입니다. 육안상으로도 연식이 있어 보이는 건물이고 지붕은 평슬라브 구조에 이쪽에는 옥상으로 가는 계단이 있습니다. 집 주변으로는 조경이 많이 되어 있는 것으로 보아 집주인께서 예전에 거주하실 때
There's like this sense of abandonment, I feel like, with the countryside. And it has a lot to do with people being seen from the countryside as like, lower income, lower class. And there are people out there, I will say this, that are not as educated. Or like you might hear foreigners that go to Korea and they'll say like, oh, the countryside, I get stared at a lot more so than like in Seoul. Or that they ask more questions where you could just tell that they don't know. I don't want to say the word ignorant, even though some people might say ignorant, but like they just don't know, or they're not as exposed to a lot of things. And it's kind of what makes sense, and then it's kind of surprising at the same time because like South Korea is not that big, but like when you're confined to that one area of South Korea and you just really know the countryside and you don't know anything else, and it is hard for you to catch a train or a bus or a boat or whatever to go to like the more metropolitan cities. That's all that you really know. So we have people in the countryside that don't know how to read and write. And I was actually really shocked, but I have Korean friends that were like, no, like that's really a thing. They really don't know how to write, don't know how to read. and it's like it's definitely a problem. So it also ties together with the housing situation where these houses look like they just destined to be haunted. They look like they just meant to be full of spirits and ghosts and ancestors and everything else. When I see these houses, I'm just like, ugh, I get the shivers, I get the heebie-jeebies. I do not like anything that like has like pollution in it, dirty, murky water, loose strands of hair. Oh, ew, ooh. I don't like any parts of that. So a lot of the insides of these houses just look tore up and barren and abandoned. And the government's like, what solution can we do to like stop this from going on? I guess y'all can make another blockbuster movie out of a lot of these houses. I watched that movie like a few years ago about the haunted asylum. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh. Oh, and that's really a real place, and they really shot that movie like it was Blair Witch Project. It was so good, y'all should check it out. But oh my goodness, look, they can make a they can make a movie called The Neighborhood, The Abandoned Neighborhood, and just have like ghosts coming out the houses and the windows. Oh my goodness, they'd be like, "Teach me how to read." I'm sorry, that was mean. But okay, let me stop. Let me bring it back. Bring it back. But no, the solution would be definitely like, so in other countries, in the country I'm from, they have like low income places, abandoned houses that have been abandoned for years. And what they do is either they mow through that thing and they tear it all the way down, or they will go and rehab them and remodel them and remake them. Sometimes with remodeling, they'll go and just take like the infrastructure of it and just kind of redo it. That's not always a good thing because they'll go and like plaster on new wallpapers and new walls, and the old foundation is still like there in the house, and you find like in a couple years the house still has issues and like a moldy smell and everything else because the original foundation of the house is still there, and they just kind of like paint it over like la-di-da-di-da-di-da, and that's a problem, and people are paying like top dollar for these houses, especially in like city areas where I'm from. But they could do that. I don't know, maybe the Korean government doesn't want to do that. I think the best thing they could do is mow it down.
네, 경기도 화성시 빈집입니다. 여기가 평당 100이라고 합니다. 이 동네가. 바로 옆에 이렇게 텃밭도 나와 있습니다. 이렇게.
Because they're going to look and they'll have a whole lot of possessed people. People going to be all the way possessed. Because I noticed some spirits are connected to them houses and they probably cannot pass on. Because there's a whole lot of these houses that are out and just there. And like some of them don't look abandoned from the outside. And they're actually like Korean people taking multiple videos of these houses. And it's just like, ugh, tear it down. Just get rid of it, please. Please get rid of it. I don't want any parts of it. There are people that like have a list of like places they can go that are supposed to be spooky places that you can go in and, you know, test your courage. Not me. It could not be me. It would never be me. I want no parts of none of that. I believe very much in ghosts. I believe very much in supernatural. And I'm not playing games. You know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Don't want nothing following me home. Don't want anything attached to me. Look, you go to Korea, leave Korea, the ghost is on first class with you, sitting in the seat like, 안녕하세요. And you're like, ah!
야, 왜 그래? 왜 그래? 야, 왜 그래? 왜 그래? 야! 야, 정신 차려! 야! 원하는 게 뭐예요? 아니 원하는 게 좀 나도 잠깐만 정신 차려.
Yeah, but it's something that definitely needs to be taken care of because it's something that is a rising problem and it's gonna keep happening. We're gonna keep having more elderly people that are passing away, especially like in the town that I grew up in that was a country town in America, this very small town. A lot of the older people have passed away and a lot of those houses, even down in that way, are abandoned. They are just kind of left there, and you know, a lot of the children do not keep the properties up, so the grass is overgrown, the roof eventually falls in, the windows are busted out because we do have a lot of the people that do crimes do break into these houses and they do sell drugs, they do whatever illegal activities they can do in these houses, and it is important that you just don't leave the problem unattended because what's going to happen is it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and soon you're just going to have whole barrels and dens of abandoned houses and people are going to be like, what in the world happened to my neighborhood? And a lot of people don't want to live next to that. Maybe the community can also get together and try to, you know, clean it up a little bit with the government's help. So yeah, this is a lot to think about, you guys. How do you feel about this whole topic? How do you feel about the rising problem of abandoned houses no matter what country you're in? Have you tried to step in to try to keep the environment clean in whatever way that you can? Put your thoughts below about all of this that I've talked about. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also belong to East Asian Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.